Welcome to Elite Pit. So I've decided to embarrass myself by doing a pit video. This is actually not a quest that I know very well. I know what to do in each of the rooms, like each in the objectives, but it's actually getting there where I have a problem. I get turned around and I don't know like the shortest path to get from point A to point B. So expect me to look ridiculous here. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give you some tips along the way. I do know a little bit about this quest, and if you don't know it, I do encourage you to learn it. This is one that I avoided for a really long time, but it is worth really, really good XP. It's totally soloable. I think when you enter it says like you gotta have 3 people or something, but you can totally solo this. So I've also decided to take a different strategy for my enhancements. I'm going to do a little bit of experiment, and I just made those changes. And so I'm not going to do my normal Enlightened Spirit supplemented with Tainted Scholar thing. I'm still going to do the full-on Enlightened Spirit, but instead of Tainted Scholar, I'm going to totally skip that and go for Soul Eater. Now, the idea here is that I'm hoping to have more boss DPS with Stricken and Consume, and I think if I go up to like Tier 4 Innate and Tier 4 the regular enhancement line, I think I can get the damage on Stricken Consume pretty high. We'll see. You know, I'm gonna do this all the way to 30, and I'm going to talk about the performance all along the way. But let's talk about what is lost in Tainted Scholar, because there's going to be some pretty painful things. Well, really, the one giant painful thing that I lose from Tainted Scholar is going to be having Death Ward in my spellbook from Tier 4 and 8. I mean, I love that. That's so awesome, and I'm really going to miss it. I've got clickies, I can wear my Silver Flame Talisman, but I really, really liked having Death Ward in my spellbook. I'm also going to lose 20% spell critical damage. That's pretty significant too. But I think with crit chances and other things that sort of boost up the damage, I'm hoping that's just going to sort of be a wash in terms of actual DPS output. We'll see. I'm also going to be losing Stanch, which was really important to accomplish my goals of, wanting to tank the big raid bosses. On paper, it seems like an equivalent trade-out for Steal the Life Force. But, this is actual healing. And this is one of the, maybe the only thing across all Warlock trees that gives you actual, real healing. Not temporary hit points. This is real healing. So, on paper, I think that's going to be an equivalent trade-off. In application, it might be very different. We'll see. Also going to be losing Chain Shape. For me, that was just situational. But I really liked having it situationally. I'm going to have to go without it. I can live. I'm losing Utter Dark Blast too. Not a really big deal. I mean, it just means I'm going to have to get an Impulse and Kinetic Lore item. More convenience than anything. I'm also losing out on pack damage. I'm hoping with some of the other boosts here in Soul Eater that is also going to be more or less a wash. I've got Charisma and Bolt Trees. So, we'll see. I'm probably going to be skipping the stuff in the Drow Elf. I was using Darkfire before. I know it's not on my build post because I made those changes after I made that screenshot, and then I went on the TR train, and so I didn't have a chance to make a new screenshot for that. But I mentioned in the build post that I was hitting pretty good with Darkfire. I was hitting like over 1,000 a bolt, and it shoots 3 bolts. So I was hitting like 3,000 plus, which I thought was pretty cool. But because I'm gonna be doing Stricken and Consume, I don't really need that. And I'm not going to be able to afford to go over there anyways with all the stuff I want to get here. So really, really looking forward to that. Let's take a look at the gear. This is largely the same as last video. Actually, there are quite a few changes. Mostly just getting things up to the next tier for my craftables. Blindness immunity, secret door detection on the goggles. Same as last video, the enchanted dark leaf banded armor. This is from Heroic Tempest Spine. Enchantment save just +5 now because I wanted to craft Evocation Focus 2 on there. Good Luck 2 on the ring. Kundrak Delving Boots, a beautiful, beautiful item. One of very few items in the game that give a permanent Freedom of Movement effect. Most of them are boots. I think there's a couple weapons that do it. I think the Epic Time Blade and maybe the Spear out of Web. I'm not sure about that. But so this is the lowest level one of them. I love this for when I'm playing classes that can't cast Freedom of Movement. Highly recommend it. So the other items are like your Orcish Privateer boots in your Boots of Blessed Travels. Orcish Privateer Boots, a very easy farm. It's a level 24 item out of Epic 3 Barrel Cove Slayer Zone. You get it from the rare chests. And then the Epic Boots of Blessed, or the Boots of Blessed Travels come from Defiler of the Just. But these are from Bond 6. So if you don't know Bond 6, you got a tune that can use these. I recommend learning that. It's high XP. Bond 5 really is the big XP. So. Strength 6 on the gloves. Impulse 54 on the ring. I should have recrafted that to 60, but I was lazy. Greater False Life on the belt. Charisma 6 on the cloak. Blasting Chime. I mentioned last video, this is probably the best place to get your Sonic Spell Power and crit chance from, up until you get your Dashing Gloves. And I think in that video I said Dashing Gloves were like level 13 or 15, but they're actually level 17. So, highly recommend the Blasting Chime until you get the Dashing Gloves. Con 6 on the necklace. Feather Falling Melee Alacrity on the helm. +3 Light Mithril Shield of Invulnerability. And the same Radiance 46 of Insightful Radiance 24 on the longsword. Okay, let's do this quest. If you are new to the pit, I recommend learning it because it is high XP. And this is one I avoided for a long time. I mean, I had done it sporadically, but I just hated it because I would get lost and blah, blah, blah. And about a year and a half ago, I finally just was like, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to go in there. I'll spend a few hours. I'm just going to figure it out. But I still get confused, like getting from point A to point B. But if you didn't know, one of the things you can do is, up in the upper right-hand corner, like it tells you what the next objective is. Power up the backup generators. And the map is fully filled in. And you also get this guide too. This is actually a useful guide. It tells you what you need to do. It tells you each step along the way. So it's worth taking a closer look at that. But okay, so the first thing I got to do is power up the backup generators. And this map is half useless because, it just like crosses over itself because this is a very tall dungeon. But if you know what these little symbols are, or if you pull up your little cheaty map on the wiki, that can be really helpful. And these symbols are actually sort of, they're icons representative of what they are. So like, see, these are flames, right? These are the furnaces. These are the 3 furnaces, 1, 2, and 3, represented by a flame. And then this, like down here, this looks like a little alarm going off, like a little Sonic icon. That's the security room. So that's like a security alarm going off. And then your like backup, or is it power breaker or something like that? This is like electricity, like power. And then this is your intake, like it's showing water intake, like this little water symbol there. This is the entrance. This is your backup generator, and this is your bilge control and main control room. So if you know that, that can be really helpful. So we got to go power up the backup generators first. Which is right here. Which, how to get to that, I don't even know. Is it up or down? I never know. But you basically got two columns, or two, very tall vertical chamber shafts that you can go up these stairs and these stairs. I don't even know what this valve does. I think it just turns off the acid there. Okay, so here we go. Backup generators. Now, the signal lights are coded. If it's yellow, it means the way is open, but the objective inside hasn't been done yet. If it's green, that means that objective has been done. If it's red, it means you can't even get in there, like the force field would be up. So here you just got to make the big X with these levers. And what you're doing is you're completing that puzzle there. But just remember, you got to make an X. If you come in here and do that, you can be fine. And when I mean X, I mean like the levers. You're like this. X. And we should be done. Did I screw it up? Oh, I did. Well, it's solved now. So if you screw it up like I did, like I was trying to explain it, so if you do the big X like here, here, and here, and then there, and there, just make a big cross, it'll solve it. But you know, if you screw it up like I did, you just look at the 3x3 puzzle here, and it's basically the same as your shroud 3x3 floor tile puzzles, and you know, you're just pulling the levers to activate the runes or to toggle the runes instead of stepping on a little, you know, floor button. Alright, that was ridiculous. I told you I was going to embarrass myself. Light the first furnace. That is here, flame furnace. Okay, so we need to make our way from here to there. How do we do that? Hell if I know. But we'll figure it out. And you could also like look down these shafts, like if you see, okay, so like, see, I'm looking down there, I can see these lights. This is yellow, red, red. This is furnace 1, 2, and 3. So I can access first furnace. And you can look up and down these shafts to sort of see, you know, if you're not sure if you're supposed to go up and down, maybe you can look at the crystals and see. Again, you're looking for these yellow crystals telling you can go in there and the objective still has to be completed. Okay, so yellow here, I can access the first furnace, which is to the left. The signal's on the left. See, I can't get to the other furnaces because the bridge is up. And if you have poor Mario skills or you hate jumping and climbing, then that's another reason to hate the pit. One of the really fascinating things about this dungeon is that during the 10th anniversary event, they were interviewing some of the devs. And they interviewed one of the devs that worked on the pit, and he said that the pit was sort of a conglomeration of a whole bunch of incomplete or unused dungeons that were put together. So he took, like, there were all these, like, you know, half dungeons that weren't completed or whatever, or just not used for whatever reason. And he took all that and just stuck it together and to make the pit, which I thought was really funny. One of the things I like already about having Stricken and Consume is I have a ranged attack that I can use without having to toggle off my aura, which I really appreciate. Okay, so that's all we had to do here in the first furnace is pull that lever. I know some of these have like stuff, other stuff like a chest up top, but I don't remember which one. Some of the furnaces. Okay, arm the pit's security traps. Remember, we're looking for the little security alarm icon down here. Is our little fire alarm going off or whatever? So we know we need to make our way over here. How do we get there? What's the quickest path? I have no clue, but we're going to figure it out. Just judging by the way that this shaft is coming down, it looks like it's probably off of this shaft. See, remember I said you can look up and down to look for those crystals. Those are yellow, telling me I can go in there, but the objective isn't completed yet. And boom, that's where we're going to our little security center with the smoke alarm icon. So here, there's just some rune wheels that you gotta hit, that you gotta set to the right symbol. And you could just look at those symbols, you know, you can look them up on Wiki, but the solution for them, they actually are on plaques all around, and I'll show you what I mean. So like right there, this says that the red one needs to be turned to the helmet, and then there's the yellow solution there, and they're all over the place. This is the purple one, just need to be changed to F. And then we get the blue one, which needs to be turned to the alien. If you're like, why the hell are you calling it alien? Then check out my video that shows the solutions to the Von 4 puzzle wheels, in which I talk about the naming of those symbols. It's good to know some of the common names that are used for these symbols, because sometimes you need to communicate them to your party members. And if you're like, it's the one with the long thing on the side and the two things sticking out the top, and you could have a hard time communicating that way. But if you use some of the more common names, it can make things a little bit easier. Green needs to go to the elephant. And if you're like, how in the hell do you get elephant out of that? Like I said, watch my video on the Von 4 puzzle wheels, and it'll all make sense. Let's see, orange needs to go to the H. And red needs to go to the helmet. And then I think we still got one more. Yellow. I don't think it did yellow yet. To the scorpion with you. As the puzzle wheels slide into place, a loud pop comes from the center of the room. telling us that we've done all the puzzle wheels. Now we got to pull the lever up there, and you can destroy these eggs. Get some optional XP. There's a chest down here. There's another egg. There's one of those plaques that tells you what the solution is for the whatever color wheel. And here's the lever we gotta pull, and that completes the security objective. Now it says start the second furnace. Well, we know where that is because we were there earlier. There's the second furnace. We were at the first one. How do we get from there, from here to there? I have no idea. I've already forgotten, but we're gonna figure it out. Now I think I came generally up for this one, so let's go down a little bit. Hey, there's my signal crystals. Green because we did it. Yellow because the second one still has to be done, and it's open now. Hey, that shoots pretty far. I don't have a lot of experience with Stricken and Consume. I definitely played with them a little bit when I did my one life on Ginger Spice, and I did a little bit. Oh no, remnant floating in the air, musket. Oh, did you see that? That was like some Michael Jordan jumping right there. I also did a little bit of experimentation to see if I just wanted to pick it up for like a, without all the power, just for like a very cheap dot. But, if you're not, highly invested into the Soul Eater tree, it just seems like your Stricken and Consume just aren't worth it to me. Like they do a little bit, but I don't think it's enough to be worth it. But part of this experiment is going to see, like, if I invest in, 3/4 of the way, is it going to be worth it? I hope so. What a punk. Yeah, I really, really love having these ranged attacks without switching my aura off. It's pretty freaking cool. Anything else going on up here? Doesn't look like it. Chests and stuff. Ooh, no. So we're done here. Now we go back out, and it says reset the power breakers. That's what we have to do next. And let's see, the breakers are, I think, this thing here, power, electrical for power, like electricity. That's simple of a lightning bolt. How do we get there from here? No clue. But we're going to figure it out. Okay, so it would be south from where I'm at now. I'm looking down, I don't see anything. So it's got to be up. I think I see a yellow crystal up there, yep. Just need to go up a bit. This quest, the optional at the end, the ooze at the bottom of the pit, you know, that's where you can get your Muck Doom, which is pretty cool. Ooze beater. Crap. This is not where I want to be. I want to be there. Doesn't look like I'm going up anymore from here. Hey, there's where I want to be. Can I make it? Oh yeah. Yellow crystals telling us there's an objective there that needs to be completed. So, crazy lightning room. No, I'm not going to tell you how to cheat it, because I don't talk about those kinds of things in my videos. What I am going to do, though, I'm going to put on my electrical absorption goggles, 33% crafted, level 5, look at that. And that can be, that doesn't even have masterful craftsmanship on there, so you can craft at level 3. Okay, so we're just going to toggle all these levers. I think it's just one of the levers is going to eventually bring down this barrier. I think it's a random lever. And then there's also like a room over here, over there, that has like a chest and a dude in there, I think. Don't ask me, I don't know this quest. Hell, for all I know, maybe it's a static lever that opens it. I don't know. I just pull levers. Pretty sure it's a random lever, though. Are we there yet? Almost. At 501 XP for that. I'll take it. Oh, that just closed it back up. Why would I want to do that? Yay. I'm sure those symbols up there mean something, but I don't have a freaking clue. Maybe someday I'll learn this quest better and do like an official walkthrough. What's next? Power up the main control room. Where the heck is that? The main control room is Rachan. How do we get there? No idea, but we're gonna figure it out. I think it's up. I think. Main control room. If I were a main control room, where would I be? Congratulations, you have found... Oh no, that's not the start. Main control room. Okay, congratulations, you have really found the start this time. Hey, here's some yellow crystals. That's a good sign. Some floor tile puzzles to do. Do I know the solutions? Nope. But I know how these floor tile puzzles work, so we'll figure them out. That's one done. Boom. And that's 3. Alright, turn on the bilge pumps. That's over here. How do we get there? I have no idea, but we're gonna figure it out. Down doesn't look too promising. So I bet it's up. Yep, there's our crystals that we're looking for, yellow crystals. There's the furnaces. Third furnace, not accessible yet. Red crystal. Means no-go. You are a no-go at this station. Secret door. It's a shrine. That's all you gotta do here. It looks like you should be able to get back there. Like, it looks like the gate should open. Maybe should be something there, but there's not. We've already done the eggs, so we don't need to worry about those. Now we light the third furnace. And there we are. Yellow crystal now. Shoot, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do this by myself. You know, I said this could be soloed, but I think I'm usually in here on my druid when I have my wolf. Because now I'm thinking about those valves that like shoot you up. I don't know if you can do that by yourself. We'll see. Get some Barney rubble over here. Trick it and consume, sucker. That one's not the issue. It's this other one there. Maybe I can climb up. I don't remember. Can't jump over there. Maybe I can get that pipe. Oh, so close. These kinds of air jets just frustrate me so much that I don't even do spies in the house because of them. Why'd you get so pissed off? You get bounced out all over the place. That totally looks like I should be able to grab that. Oh, I could just do that. And that. Uh-oh. Woohoo! Stricken and consumed, sucker. Hell yeah. Now, is this the one that has chest up here? I don't know. Do I look like I care? I mean, seriously, do I? Does Voodu look like she cares? Does she look like she cares about anything? Voodu don't give a fuck. Restart the intake system. Okay, if I were an intake system, where would I be? Well, what are we intaking? We're intaking water. And there's our water symbol. That's where we want to go. How do we get there? Again, I have no frickin' clue. But we're going to figure it out. Okay, if I were an intake system, where would I be? I see a yellow crystal. It's like we need to go up. Crap on a stick. But I saw it. It was right there. What did I do wrong? It's gotta be above me. Michael Jordan. What the heck? But I saw it. It was right there. And then I lost it. Hey, here we go. Oh, this is the end. Now all we gotta do is flip these levers or whatever. Don't need champion Warlock shooting at us though, do we? Does it get a little painful in here? All these acid dots and crap. Yep, you got acid dot on you. You can't pull a lever very well, can you? Because you keep getting interrupted by this jerk over here. This shit is ridiculous. Stricken and consumed, sucker. Damn, that's one. And there's the other. And then you put on your voice, and you get an XP orgasm. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Don't recall out yet, because we gotta go get our Muck Doom. Come on now. No, not from here. What's my feather falling item? My helmet. Why is that not open? I don't even know. I have no idea why that's not open. Well, that sucks. I guess there were some valves or something that I had no clue what they did. I don't ever remember getting down here and not having that open. I just learned something. Okay, so I'm back in the furnace section. I had to look up on Wiki that apparently it's these blue valves that open up the gate at the bottom there to open up the optional. I didn't realize that. I guess I just always pulled those valves before when I did it without realizing what they did. But hey, like I said, I learned something, and that's awesome. So now we're going to go back to the bottom of the pit. Alright, back at the bottom of the pit. Now we're going to kick some aspect of Jubilous butt with our gate open. And we're going to get ourselves a Muck Doom. And it'll be so cool. Stricken and consumed do nothing to him. Avatar of Jubilex. That's that faceless or dude from the Fiend Folio. That's where he first appeared. I don't know. Deities and demigods, maybe. Focus blast doing a little bit better. Hell yeah. Come on, Muckdoom. Not today. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about this video ridiculous or any of my videos, you can respond on YouTube, and if you have questions about the build I'm doing, you can respond in the Warlock forums. And if you happen to be on Zarlona, you are welcome to send me a tell.